Hey there, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Another masterclass. I was supposed to make this live video on Monday, but due to some personal problems in my family, I was not able to do the masterclass. Unfortunately, I couldn't be online on Monday, but I made sure to get some time this week to make the live video, and today is the day. So I hope you guys can join, say hi in the chat as soon as you are able to participate and join in the live video. Let's see, I will be waiting a little bit while people join the live webinar. I'll be giving some time. Okay. Did I make this live? Um, okay. Yes. Very well. I will be waiting for some people to join. It's natural. I intend to plan these live videos in advance and start creating a schedule as it's the end of the year and I'm still getting the hang of when to post the videos online and when not to post them. By January, I will have a clearer schedule of the live videos, but I intend to make live masterclasses as often as possible, probably once a week, if I'm lucky, twice. And this is something that will start happening in January very often. Okay, so say hi if you're joining. Make sure to participate in the chat. The last time we had a live webinar, it was really fun because many people participated. It was a really exciting. Let me see here. I'm gonna share the video link on Facebook. We will start in about 5 minutes while more people join. Okay, because I want more people to join. So if you are joining, come on, share this link and invite people to participate. Let's see here. Okay. For now, people are joining. It's Thursday. Okay, I see more people are joining. In the meantime, I'm waiting for more people to join. Let's see, guys, if you can share this on your Facebook and social media, because that way more people will come and join Teacher Prick's masterclass. This is a masterclass style, so be ready because we are going to spend some time here talking about English speaking, okay? So make sure to invite your friends. 5 more minutes and we will get started. Hopefully I shared the right link to the video. Yeah, probably. No, there's no. Okay. Yeah, it's so strange because I changed the title and apparently the title didn't change. Oh well. Okay, I see more people are joining. This is exciting. Invite more people to join. Although it was supposed to be, the title is messed up here on YouTube, but we are going to be practicing. We are going to be practicing about speaking. Okay. I see more people are joining. Just a few more seconds, a few more minutes, and we will get started. I just need to get this right. Okay. Because I want to share on YouTube, but I shared the wrong link because I am super smart. I'm always sharing the wrong links. And if you're watching the replay, very soon, in about 2 minutes or so, I will be starting the class. Have a little patience. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Okay, never mind. If you could share, on the other hand, that would be awesome because Teacher Pricks doesn't know how to share things anymore. My goodness. The lesson will be about 1 hour. Okay, I'll probably talk for 45 minutes and then 15 minutes will be question and answers. I will answer some of your questions. Okay, it'll be about English speaking, about practicing English speaking. So make sure to join. Yeah, okay. Yeah, for now, I don't know how to share. So I will start before, yeah, I will just get started. Okay, guys, so I will be getting started. I see that some people have already joined, and I will make sure to answer your questions at the end of the live class, okay? But I will answer questions about this exercise, okay, about this lesson. So any question that is not connected with speaking, English speaking, I will not answer this time. Maybe in a future video I can make another masterclass and talk about the questions you're having. But for now, I will just focus on English speaking, and I hope I get many questions that I can answer at the end. Okay? Excellent. I get this question like all the time. Teacher Pricks, how can I practice English? How can I practice English speaking? And I believe yesterday I posted on my Instagram. By the way, do you follow me on Instagram? It would be nice if you did. I posted a short video about practicing English speaking, and I decided to make this masterclass because I got a lot of questions, I got a lot of messages and feedback, and I thought this would be a nice video for us, for me to make for you guys and to discuss because it's a very important subject. Okay, I believe that most of you want to practice speaking, right? Do you want to practice speaking? Do you want to improve your speaking? Say yes here in the chat, okay? If you want to practice your speaking, type yes, I do. I want to improve my speaking. Let me put here, yes, I do. I will be the first. I want to improve my speaking. If you want to improve, say yes here in the chat. I want to see how many of you want to improve your speaking. Okay, I see some of you are saying yes, this is awesome. I'm happy you want to improve your speaking because I want to help you do that. And there are things that you can do that will help you improve your speaking. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do here today. And how am I going to do this? I'm going to be showing you some interesting practices, some things you should be doing in order to improve your speaking, because the reality is just because you study alone doesn't mean you can't practice speaking. You can. You have some limitations. Yes, you do have some limitations, but it is possible to practice your speaking. And if you are not doing that, it'll be more difficult for you to improve. So, watch this lesson, take notes because it'll be a very nice lesson, a complete class to guide you in your speaking. So, I see more people are replying, yes, I do. Come on, let me see here in the chat. Keep writing, yes, I do, because this is important for me. It's a sign that it's a nice subject for us to talk about, and in the future, I can even make more videos about that. Okay? Now, as I was saying, is it possible to practice speaking alone? Yes, it is possible. There are limitations, but it is possible. Now, one thing that you need to keep in mind is discipline. If you want to practice English speaking and unfortunately you don't have a teacher or you don't take an online course, you need to practice, you need to have discipline, because without discipline, it'll be very difficult for you to achieve results. Okay? And what do I mean by discipline? When you study alone, you don't have anyone telling you what to do. You don't have anyone checking if you are doing your homework, if you are studying. So you don't have anyone to help you with that on your journey. That's why it's very important to have discipline. So, for anything you study online, you will need to be disciplined. But it is possible to practice English speaking alone. Another thing that you will need to be more open minded about is it may be a little strange. Practicing speaking alone may be a little weird, a little awkward for you at first. I give some exercises to some of my students, and they gave me this feedback. Oh, teacher, doing these exercises you gave me, they were nice, but I felt a little weird, a little uncomfortable when I did them. Should I continue? And I was like, yes, you have to continue. It's really important that you do. So you will feel a little weird, you will feel a little uncomfortable. But as I said, if you are alone, you have to fight this feeling that, oh, this is so awkward, this is strange, because you don't have another option. Okay, so first you need to think, do I have another option? Not right now. So doing the exercise that I'm going to recommend here will be very important, but it's normal to feel strange, to feel awkward when you're practicing English speaking alone. Okay, so don't worry about that. It's natural, but remember, discipline and persistence. You need to be persistent if you are on this journey alone, if you are going solo, okay? Now, why is your speaking not improving? Do you have this question? Why is my English not improving? Do you think about that? Teacher, not just your English, but your speaking, especially speaking. Do you sometimes think about why your English is not improving? Well, there are many things that could explain why your English is not improving. Okay, there are many things that could explain, and I don't know you in person, so it would be difficult for me to give you a straight answer, but there are some things that we need to consider, okay? Especially if your speaking is not improving. For many English learners, they say that their listening is improving or their grammar is improving, their writing is improving, but not the speaking part. And this is frustrating for many English learners, okay? Now, is it because you don't practice? Well, it could be. It could be a reason, why if you're not practicing, it could possibly be a reason. But as I said, the focus of this lesson today is to show you how to practice alone. So if you are not practicing alone, that is another possible reason why you are not improving. Now, what I want to focus here is on two very important learning processes, okay? We have input learning and output learning. And basically, what is that? Output learning is everything that you receive, every information, not just about English, okay? If you are studying architecture, if you are studying engineering, anything you are studying, anything you are learning in life, okay? A course, college, university, post graduation. Now, here we're focusing on English. So, input learning is everything you are receiving from the outside world: videos, YouTube videos, podcasts, Teacher Prix's videos. I hope you watch my videos. Books that you read, articles on the internet that you read. All of that is input. Okay, so the biggest problem English learners have is that they focus too much on input learning. And this is the problem, my friends. You are probably focusing too much on the input, on everything that you're receiving. And then when it's time to have the output learning, what is output? Output is everything you do with the information you receive. Basically, that means what you use. Okay, so everything you use in that subject that you were studying is output. So here we have the input, which is the information you receive, and then we have the output, which is the information you use. Okay, so my question for you now: do you use the information you learn? Do you use the information you study? Because what I see happening is many English learners watch a lot of English videos and lessons and podcasts and so many other kinds of materials, but they don't bring it to their lives. They don't bring that information to their lives and they don't use. Consequently, you are probably not improving your speaking because you're not using all that information that you are learning. Okay, so learning this is very important because from now on, you will know when you are dedicating time. Probably you have a study routine, I imagine. Do you have a study routine? Let me know here in the chat, okay? But let's imagine, let's suppose you have a study routine. So I imagine that if you have a study routine, you need to analyze how much time you spend in output learning and how much time you spend in input learning. So there is a moment to receive information and there is a moment to use that information. And English learners who study alone have great difficulty using the information they study for several reasons. Okay? So this is something you need to think about because that could be one of the reasons why your English is not improving. Now, Teacher Prix, what are some things that I can do that would be in the category of output learning, of using the information that I learn? Okay, because if you think about it, listening and watching videos would be input learning. You're just receiving information. But output learning would be everything you put on the outside, everything you use. So writing and speaking would be the output learning processes that you should be doing. But writing is something that many of you do. Speaking, on the other hand, probably not. So these are two ways for you to use all the information that you're studying, and that's why I'm going to be telling you a little bit more about that, how to practice speaking. I will make another video in the future to practice writing. Okay, but today the focus is speaking, how you can practice speaking in your reality, considering that maybe you don't have a partner to talk to you, considering that maybe you don't have a teacher, maybe you don't take a course, maybe you don't study anything right now. So, considering that, how can you practice English speaking? Okay, and if you are enjoying, make sure to hit the like button to help Teacher Pricks and share this video because more people can participate and enjoy the information that I'm giving here tonight. Okay? Now, before I go into more details, another problem that happens to English learners, let me move on to my next slide, is uh, okay, did I change? No. Oh, okay. Very nice. Now, one thing that happens to English learners, which I have clients that have this problem, is okay, conversations. I want to improve my speaking, but do I have enough input about that conversation subject? I think that in the previous lesson, in the previous master class that I did, there's an airplane flying by. It's gone. In the previous masterclass, I talked about vocabulary and the importance of vocabulary, and vocabulary is totally connected with speaking. Okay, and learning vocabulary is an input way, okay, is an input learning style. Okay, so is it possible? How can you speak about a conversation subject if you don't have enough input about that conversation subject? So here we start with problem number one. If you don't have enough vocabulary about a conversation, how can you talk about it? How can you use the information and talk about it? So many students fail, have problems, many students fail in the preparation part. Okay? Here, as I said, we need to have an input process. And in this process, you need to do the right exercises that will help you talk about that subject. And that's the moment when English learners fail because they don't know how to prepare themselves for the conversations they want to talk about. And consequently, when they try to practice, when they try to speak, they can't. So, how is your vocabulary preparation? Are you preparing yourself enough to talk about a subject? And this may be something that is stopping you. Okay, I will go into more details. I will tell you a little bit of my experience. How do I prepare my clients for a conversation. I don't start a conversation right away. Okay, we want to talk about healthy lifestyle. Okay, let's imagine that today I want to have a conversation with my students about healthy lifestyle. What a healthy lifestyle is. I'm typing here on the chat. Let's say I want to talk about a healthy lifestyle. I don't immediately start a conversation with that student about a healthy lifestyle. What do I do? Input. Okay, I give this student information. Imagine that you want to go to the gym and you want to exercise, but you didn't eat all day. Okay, no food at all. Are you going to be able to exercise? Maybe yes, maybe no, but you usually prepare yourself. You usually have some food, maybe a protein bar, maybe a fruit, a piece of banana or an apple, a piece of bread, and then when you're full, not too full, you go to the gym. Okay, it's the same thing with English in a conversation. If you don't have the right preparation, you cannot talk about it. So let's say that's what I do with my clients. An example, we want to talk about a healthy lifestyle. So what do? I usually give two or three types of exercises for them. First, I give them vocabulary. Okay, I give them words that will help them talk about a healthy lifestyle. Okay, Felipe, you're not fitness. Oh, I can't believe it. You should start exercising in 2019. Anyway, so first, I give my clients vocabulary. Okay, I give them food, vocabulary. I start from vocabulary, everything that is connected with fitness. Oh, teacher Pricks, everything? No, take it easy. I give enough words that will help them in a conversation. Because if I talk about healthy lifestyle, I could talk about this for days, for hours, because there are many conversations about a healthy lifestyle. So I usually prepare a list of vocabulary that will help them talk about a healthy lifestyle, verbs, adjectives, expressions, okay? After that, I will also give a reading exercise. Okay, an article talking about healthy lifestyle. Maybe a person describing their lifestyle, describing their activities that could explain why they have a lifestyle. So you see, I gave vocabulary about lifestyle. I gave it a text, an article about a healthy lifestyle, but I want more. I want to give more stuff to help my client to be able to talk about it. So I give a video or a podcast, okay? A video or a podcast, it depends on the client. I give a video about a healthy lifestyle. Maybe someone talking about the importance of healthy lifestyle. Maybe someone describing their lifestyle, their healthy lifestyle, or talking about exercising, the importance of exercising. So, three things so far: no conversation, no speaking, nothing. I take it easy. This is the preparation moment, the input moment. So I gave vocabulary, I gave reading, I gave listening. Now I do a little bit of grammar. Okay, what do we usually need to talk about a healthy lifestyle? Well, maybe we need a present simple. Simple present, maybe can to talk about ability, it depends. Okay, maybe a little bit about a routine. So I give a little bit of grammar with some examples, real life examples of phrases that we can use with that grammar point to help my student talk about a healthy lifestyle. So you see, I said two or three, but now I'm talking about four things that I do. The input process, okay? So I have a very strong input process. And finally, after all of that, we start talking. Huh? How beautiful that is. This is the moment when the student is ready, okay, to talk. Teacher, what do you mean ready? Well, you're not 100% ready because you're learning to talk about that. You will be ready to take on the challenge of talking about a healthy lifestyle. You will make mistakes. The students, they make mistakes. They forget words. It is completely normal to make mistakes. But now, if you think about it, you had all this preparation about one conversation. So it'll be easier for you to practice speaking. If I just start a class and ask something different that I didn't prepare my student, depending on the level, if it's an intermediate, a strong intermediate speaker, it's easy. But if it's not, if it's a student that is trying to speak, it'll be difficult. And what will happen? This student will lose motivation. This student will feel frustrated because the student will not know words, will not remember words, will not know how to say things in English. The student will be completely unprepared, will not be ready for that conversation. So this is what I call input and output. That's I prepared my student and now he's using that information. So how is your routine? Do you have an input moment and an output moment? Even it's by writing, because writing is an output moment. In writing, you are also using the information that you were studying. But if you don't divide in your routine a moment to prepare, a moment to feed your stomach with food, how are you going to exercise later? You see, so if you don't prepare yourself, how are you going to talk about it? And that's when many students, many English learners fail because they didn't really have this moment to prepare themselves. So the vocabulary will impact your communication. Okay, so for any conversation that I prepare my clients for, that I prepare my students, and that I recommend to you, my student, prepare yourself. Otherwise, you may feel extremely lost in a conversation. Okay, now, another thing that I usually talk to my students about, teacher, grammar, because I just talked about grammar and how we study a little bit of grammar sometimes and how is that important. Do you need grammar to learn and speak English? What do you think? Do you think grammar is necessary? Do you think grammar is important? Let me know here in the chat. Okay, if you're following the video, if you're watching, say I'm here so that I know that everybody's here. Okay, I see some people are talking. This is nice. The interaction is nice. We have 54 people. Well, 52, 54. This is awesome. If possible, share this video, invite more people to participate. It's a masterclass about English speaking. I think that's a very nice lesson, especially because it's going to help you in 2019 so that you can speak and feel more confident about speaking English to people from all over the world. Okay? Now, what do you think? Do you need grammar? Well, some people say it's important, and I agree. Okay? We usually have some kind of prejudice against grammar because, oh no, grammar will make me feel stuck, grammar will make me stop learning, and I will not be able to communicate. No, why not? Combining activities is important, and grammar is an important part of the process. One thing that many English learners listen in podcasts or watch in videos from different teachers is, oh, teacher, but how about babies? They don't use grammar to learn English, they just learn and listen. Well, babies are in a completely different reality. Are you a baby? Are you probably not, because unless you're an extremely smart baby that knows how to find teacher pricks on YouTube and watch my videos. If you are, oh my God, that's awesome. But in general, babies learn in a different way because they are living a different moment. Even their brain is under construction, is being developed. You are not a baby anymore. So how are you going to learn like a baby? You have your brain fully developed. You really, as an adult, you are rationalizing things all the time, analyzing things all the time. You need explanations to everything because that's you have your critical thinking completely developed. Now, you can use some strategies from babies. Okay, they listen a lot, they repeat a lot. Have you paid attention to babies? When they are learning something, they repeat and repeat all over again because they're learning. When they watch a movie, they don't watch once, they don't watch twice, they watch 100 times. They memorize the sentences because they're learning. And the repetition they make is what makes them learn. They are surrounded by the language, of course, but there's so much repetition and so much listening that they learn. However, if you pay attention, even in your own language, little kids, little toddlers, they speak incorrectly. They make mistakes all the time. Is that a bad thing? No, not at all. It's not a bad thing. But they start to speak a better English when they go to school. And what do they learn at school? Grammar. Now, do you need to study grammar every day? Absolutely not. You don't need to study grammar every day. Do you need grammar 100% to speak English? No. You need balance. You need to dedicate some time to study grammar. But how do you study grammar? Strategically. Teacher Pricks, what do you mean by strategically? Remember when we were talking about healthy lifestyle? That is an example of a conversation subject that I would have with my clients. So this is the moment to think, what kind of grammar do I need? In this case, I told you a little bit of simple present to describe your healthy lifestyle, to describe the things you do that make you healthy. So for example, if I were to tell you now, let's see here, I'm gonna do something here. Okay, so I'm gonna write here. Well, I have a very healthy lifestyle. I like to exercise, I run, I eat veggies and fruits. I don't drink I don't drink alcohol. I sleep well. I don't spend I don't spend too much time watching TV. And these are some of the things that are connected to a healthy lifestyle. Now, if you pay attention, all of this is in the present. I have a very healthy lifestyle. I like to exercise. I run. I eat vegetables and fruits. I don't drink alcohol. I forgot to type drink. Oopsie daisy. Uh, I don't drink alcohol. I sleep well. I don't spend too much time watching TV. And if I were to explain, well, I believe healthy lifestyle is important because you can live a long life. That's basically what I believe. I believe a healthy lifestyle is important because you can live a long life. It's a very simple explanation about healthy lifestyle if you pay attention. And if you see, I only use it simple present. So you don't need a lot of complicated grammar to speak English. You need the right grammar to speak English. And many times English learners they go and they study a grammar point and they start doing all those grammar exercises, those grammar drills as we usually call. But that's not necessary. You don't need to do that. You can bring to your life. So let's say you are studying simple present and you want to practice because you just study it. Think of a subject, a conversation, something you can talk about that will need simple present. I am preparing a video to show you guys just focusing on conversation subjects. Okay, I am preparing. It's not done yet. Probably in January there will be a live video just to talk about a healthy lifestyle, just to talk about English subjects, conversation subjects. Now, here in the comments, in the chat, write 3 or 4 phrases about a lifestyle, okay? So tell me a little bit about a lifestyle. I'm going to type here, write 3 or 4 phrases about lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle. Now, what is this? This is an output moment. So if you are here in the chat, if you are participating in the class, write this, okay? 3 or 4 phrases about a healthy lifestyle because this is an output moment. Okay, I didn't prepare you, I didn't give you vocabulary or a text or a reading, but this is a moment to challenge yourself. See what you can do here, okay? I would love to see some of your phrases about a healthy lifestyle, okay? Now, this is a very positive way to include English grammar in your study routine. This is a great input moment, and a great way to have the output moment is by writing or by speaking. We will get there. I see some people are commenting, I run 3 times a week, I wake up early in the morning. This is great. I want to see more, guys. I see there are many people watching, so I would like to see more answers here in the chat. Okay, make sure to participate. That's good. And if you are enjoying, make sure to hit the like button. I know I ask that a lot, but it really helps the channel. More people will be able to see this video and learn the best techniques to improve their English speaking. Okay, nice. So this is how I include English grammar in my life, into my students' lives, on my online English program that I am doing with my online students. I already insert grammar that way, and it's been very, very efficient. Okay, moving on. Now, why is it difficult for you to talk about certain subjects? I have many clients, the clients, or not just clients, but people from YouTube, English learners from YouTube or on Facebook. Some people send me messages, some people send me emails. By the way, are you in my email list? You're missing English tips every week, okay? So make sure to participate. The link is in the descriptions, okay? Pedro says, I normally practice sports. I run 3 times a week and stay away of junk food. That's awesome. Stay away of junk food. Not cool. Nice. So why is it difficult for you to talk about certain subjects? We have here 3 basic reasons, okay? Preparation, input and output, and knowledge, okay? First, if you don't prepare yourself, it's tough. Let's go to the knowledge. What is knowledge? What do you know about the subject? If I ask you about kangaroos, in Australia. What do you know about kangaroos? To be honest, I don't know anything about kangaroos. So the knowledge is very important, okay? If I don't know anything about that subject, it'll be very difficult for me to talk about. So, for example, me, Teacher Pricks, I don't know anything about kangaroos. I know they're big, they're brown, and they're animals. That's all I know about kangaroos. So the knowledge is very important. Okay, it has a pocket. Yes, so I don't know anything. Okay, so this is important. It's difficult for you to talk about a subject or specific subjects, it's probably because you don't know much information about that subject. So, knowledge is important, and knowledge will be connected with preparation. Okay, and preparation is connected with input and output because your preparation will be in the input moment. Watching videos about, let's see, like kangaroos, let's focus on kangaroos. Watching videos about kangaroos, reading about kangaroos, watching specialists talking about kangaroos. That's the preparation and the knowledge. I am increasing my knowledge about that subject. Okay? And then the preparation part will require specific exercises, writing, reading, listening. So this is the moment to prepare yourself. And I want to talk about the history, the history of kangaroos, how it all began. So do I need a little simple past? Do I need a little bit of simple present? So you need to think about, okay, but I want to talk about what happened to the kangaroos a few years ago. They are extinct. I don't know. They are suffering the risk of going extinct. What do I want to talk about? Okay, so knowledge is important because when you have a little knowledge, it's easier to prepare yourself. I see that some people tell me that they fight very well. I saw something about kangaroos. I was reading the news on Facebook, and I heard that the strongest kangaroo in Australia has recently died. Okay? Yes, I know something about kangaroos. And the picture of the kangaroo is really weird because it was really a very, very strong kangaroo. So how can you prepare yourself? First, you need to know about the subject. You need to read a little more. You need to listen a little more. Okay? And then you have the preparation. Okay? Someone is saying, well, I think it's difficult for beginners are the words and the knowledge. So this is the moment for the preparation. Now we have to think about the knowledge. As you are getting knowledge, as you are getting information, you will need to start preparing. And how do you prepare? Well, start by having some vocabulary. Okay, how are you going to talk about kangaroos? You have to study vocabulary. I don't even know how to talk about their body parts, and I don't know. And it's okay. So, what do I need to do if I want to be ready to talk about kangaroos next time? Well, I need to study vocabulary. I need to listen a little bit about it. Maybe some specialists, veterinarians talking about kangaroos. I'm reading the chat, but I'm not commenting on all the comments. I will be at the end. Okay, this is a masterclass style. At the end, I will be answering questions, reading the lifestyle posts. Okay, so I will, no worries. Now, the preparation will be vital, crucial to help you speak about it. And then, in a combination of input and output. So, as you are preparing, you can write. This will be a good moment for you to prepare for the speaking part that you're going to do alone. Okay? So, input is important, but the knowledge and the preparation are connected because this will be input moments. The moment to read, the moment to learn vocabulary, the moment to listen people talking about it. Because when you're listening to people talk about it, for example, if let's suppose I want to learn about kangaroos. Okay, I like the example of kangaroos. What am I going to do? When I find a video about someone talking about kangaroos, I'm going to start paying attention to what expressions he or she uses, what words, what key words they use, different verbs, what kind of verbs they are going to use. And then I will try to do the same. I will try to write some similar phrases to practice. And it's okay. Many English learners think, oh, teacher, but that's copying, it's not creating. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's a moment to study. It's a moment to prepare yourself. So I like to get inspired from the best. And the people in the videos will probably be the best examples that I will have. So this is something that I like to do when I am studying. I get inspired. I use vocabulary that I saw in videos, that I heard in videos, that I heard in podcasts, that I read in articles, because that's the best way for me to prepare for a conversation. Okay? Now, one thing that we can go next. Let's see. Yes, we are getting to the moment of the speaking practice, okay? I am warming you guys up. Let's see the next part. Let me move on to the next page. Now, another thing that many English learners ignore in the speaking practice. Okay, and how do I know this? I did a test. Okay, I have many English clients, many private clients, okay, many private students. And for about 2 or 3 weeks, I decided to give I decided to give a challenge, okay? I asked them to ask me questions about me. Any question, of course, respectful questions, okay? I asked them to ask me questions. And it was shocking because from basic to advanced speakers, good speakers, they had problems to ask me questions. Simple questions with what, where, when, how long, how often. They forgot. Okay? So English speaking is not only about making phrases, talking to people. You need to ask people questions. So, are you practicing how to ask questions? Because if you're not, you are missing a great opportunity to improve your speaking skills. In a conversation, me, Teacher Pricks, if I'm having problems to talk or I don't know what to say anymore, I ask a question. I guide the listener. I make him or her speak. Maybe because my moment is done. I don't know what to say anymore. I am done. So I ask a question. This is very powerful in speaking in conversations. And if you don't practice asking questions, you are in disadvantage. Okay? Because in conversations, there are two things you must do: answer questions or give information, or ask questions, ask for information. These are the two things we do in conversations. We give information or we ask information. We ask for information. So if you are not doing these things, you are in disadvantage. So practicing your speaking will also require mastering questions in English. And let me tell you, my friend, there are many kinds of questions that you can ask. So that's the another challenge that I see many English speakers have. They don't know how to ask questions. And if you don't know how to ask questions, if you are not studying how to ask questions, you will probably have more problems to communicate. It'll be more difficult for you to communicate efficiently and confidently, because when we don't have confidence, we don't talk. So if we don't feel confident about asking questions, if we feel uncomfortable about asking questions, we will be quiet in a conversation or we will not speak. Okay? Do you have problems to make questions? Let me know here in the chat. I see some people said that they have some problems in conversation, so I would love to see some feedback because maybe that will inspire me to make some videos about questions. Okay? So let me know if this is something that is true for you, that it's challenging for you. Okay? Now, let me go move on to the next slide. Okay. How can you practice English speaking alone? Let me drink some water and you can hit the like button in the meantime. Come on, guys, let me know if the questions are important for you. I have a little delay here in the chat, but if you have problems asking questions, I would love to know because that can give me some ideas of future live classes that I can prepare for you guys. Okay? Another thing that, if possible, you could let me know is, do you enjoy this kind of masterclass where I share some information and after that you ask some questions? This would be nice feedback as well. Now, okay, how can you practice English speaking alone? Okay, teacher, I'm alone. Do I just talk to myself? Hi, Priscilla. How are you? Well, I'm fine. Thanks. And you, Priscilla? I'm fabulous. Thank you very much. Well, you could do that. That is something that I do sometimes. It may sound crazy, and I just do that at home always. But there are some more effective ways for you to practice English speaking alone without sounding a little crazy. Okay? Now, the first thing that I'm going to share with you is extend your sentences. If you're and okay, now one important thing here. When I'm talking about these suggestions, they are all oral suggestions. Don't sit down and think about it, okay? Okay, I'm just going to think about it. No, you have to listen to your voice. You have to speak, okay? That's very important. Another recommendation before we move on here with the explanations. Cell phone, if you are using Android, you go to Store, Google Store, Play Store. Okay, Play Store, and then you're gonna go on Play Store and you're gonna type voice recorder. You are going to download an app that records your voice. If you are fancy and you have an Apple phone, you're going to go to Apple Store or App Store or iPhone Store or whatever store they have, and you're going to do the same. You are going to download a voice recorder. Okay, this is very important. This is the moment when my students tell me it's awkward. Oh, teacher, I'm going to record my voice. This is so strange. Well, my friend, if you're alone, You have no choice. You got to do the job. Okay? Now, what do I mean by extend your sentences? Remember, orally, okay? Let me get that. Okay. Now, let me go here to my examples. I'm going to type a few things if I find my board. Okay. I eat veggie. Okay. I like to eat veggies. Okay? This is one phrase. Now, how can I make this phrase longer? All right. Do you have any suggestions? How can I complement this phrase? How can I complete this story of vegetables? Okay. I like to eat vegetables for lunch. This for is an accident. I like to eat veggies, but now I complete it for lunch. Okay. So I started with I like to eat veggies. So this was my first part, but now I completed. I like to eat veggies for lunch. So I gave another example. But I don't eat veggies every day. However, I I don't eat veggies every day. Okay? So this is something that we started doing, extending my sentences. I like to eat veggies for lunch. However, it's cutting here. Let me do this. However, I don't eat veggies every day. Well, maybe I can have an explanation. Why I don't eat veggies every day? I don't eat veggies every day because I also like pasta. I also like pasta because life is good, right? Life is perfect when you eat pasta, don't you think? So I don't eat veggies every day because I also like pasta. I eat pasta twice a week. Okay, so I am extending my sentences. I am creating more phrases based on the first phrase. So my first phrase started with I like to eat veggies. Now, what else can I create connected to I like to eat veggies? I like to eat veggies for lunch. Or maybe I sometimes. Oh, my typing skills are awesome. My goodness. So I sometimes eat veggies for lunch. This is also possible. However, I don't eat veggies every day because I also like pasta. I eat pasta twice a week. It's great. I go out with my friends and we eat pasta. So you see, I am extending my phrases, making them longer. Okay, so this is a way to extend your sentences. That's what I mean in the tip number one for you to practice your speaking. Okay, teacher, any subject? Yes, any subject. Okay, I wake up early in the morning. Well, I wake up early on Mondays and Wednesdays. Now you can explain. I wake up early on Mondays and Wednesdays because I have swimming lessons. Okay, so you see, I made my phrase longer. I wake up early in the morning. I wake up early on Mondays and Wednesdays. I wake up early on Mondays and Wednesdays because I have English lessons, swimming lessons. Okay, so this is what I mean by extending your sentences. Now, remember, you have to do this orally. Okay, you are going to record your voice. Teacher Pricks, okay, I recorded my voice. What do I do now? Okay, because I did it and I have no one to correct me, which is okay. I know you don't have someone to correct you. That's not the point. The point is to build your confidence. If you never practice speaking, if you never listen to yourself speaking, how are you going to speak? How are you going to build that confidence? And by starting to do this, you are going to change that process. Okay? So after you record your voice, you're going to listen. And then your first reaction would be, Holy Mother of God! Or whatever it is that you believe. Holy. Bad word? I can't say a bad word here. But you can say many things. You will be shocked. You will be surprised. You will be sad. You will be disappointed. You will think your voice is hot, or you will think your voice is horrible. But you will have all kinds of reactions. And that's okay. Focus on English, okay? After the first 5 minutes that you're miserable, paying attention to things that don't matter, focus on English. The first thing, did you did you understand what you said? Because that's important. Because if you don't understand what you said, imagine other people. Okay? So the first question you have to ask yourself, did you understand the recording? Okay? That is super important. I'm even going to type this here. My typing sucks. Did you understand your recording? Let's put all in the same color. So this is the first question you have to ask yourself. Did you understand your message? Okay. The second thing you have to say is your audio confusing? Okay. Is the information confusing? Because if it's confusing, what do I mean by confusing? You start talking about dogs and now you're talking about your mother, but the audio was about dogs. But now you're talking about Christmas and you changed the subject completely. It's disorganized. So is your audio confusing? Another thing that you need to pay attention, is your intonation clear? Guys, oh, teacher, I'm not a teacher. How do I know? You will know if your intonation is not clear, because this is something you can work on. There are videos on YouTube teaching how to improve your intonation. So pay attention to that, okay? You don't need to be a master here. You're not a teacher. That's not the goal. But you need to have a, an idea if people would understand or not. If you have a friend that studies English, that is studying, send the audio to your friend, someone you trust, someone that will be able to give you a feedback. And then ask them, do you understand? Do you understand the words? Okay. After that, you can even write the information and see if you could understand the script of the information you heard. So this is something that you have to do. Okay. Now, so this is what I mean by extending your sentence, okay? Now, practice questions. Yes, here, my friends, let me go back to the scene. When I say practice questions. Let me change the color now. Let's put the green. Okay, so what? What kind of? How often? How long? You have to remember to reveal what kind of questions you can ask. Okay, there are questions with what, there are questions with how. Just some examples I wrote here. What kind of, how often, how long, where, when, why. Let's see what else. Which, who, whose. These are all important words for you to ask questions. So if you don't know how to ask questions with how often, with how long, with where, then you are in trouble. But it's okay. This is a good opportunity for you to practice. So what do I do? Let's see here. Let's focus on what kind. What kind of? What possible questions can I ask? Well, there are many questions, okay? But let's say, what kind of movies do you watch? What kind of food do you like to eat? Teacher, only in the present? Well, use your imagination. You can ask in the past. What kind of food did you like to eat when you were a child? So here I have two parts in my question. So, what kind of food did you like to eat when you were a child? So, here my question is a little longer. First, I want to know what kind of food, but then I give a moment in my life, a specific moment when you were a child. Probably now, as an adult, you may like different kinds of food, which is okay. We grow up, we change our taste. So, what kind of food did you like when you were a child? So this is very important in communication. And another thing you can do is after you prepare the questions, you can answer the questions. Yes, answer the questions that you asked. So, what kind of movies do you watch? Okay, record. Whoops, record. Okay, I like action movies, like Marvel movies. I really like Marvel movies. I also like comedy movies. They are very nice and funny. So, you see, I am practicing the two at the same time. I asked the question, now I answer the question. This is very important, and if you are not doing it, you're not practicing your speaking. Now, the main focus of this masterclass is to show you the importance of practicing English speaking alone. And unfortunately, if you don't have anyone to talk to, you will have to record your voice. Recording your voice will help you listen to yourself. I do that all the time. When I am practicing for specific conversations that I want to improve and master, I record myself. I have no choice. So I go, I answer the question, and then I listen. And then I'm like, oh my God, did I say that? But then I improve. So this is how I study because depending on the conversation, I don't have anyone to talk to me because it's very specific, okay? Because I'm always preparing for a rainy day. Like right now, I don't know anything about kangaroos. Probably tomorrow, I will start researching information about kangaroos because I want to learn about kangaroos. Why not? Tip number 3 and tip number 4 are on my ebook. Do you have my ebook already? Yes? No? Don't know? No idea? Well, let me tell you a little bit about my ebook. My ebook basically teaches you not everything, but the most important pieces of information that you need to master your English speaking. It tells a little bit about my experience, but it also gives you efficient, strategic ideas to help you practice speaking, to help you improve your English skills and reach fluency. You don't need to be the advanced super speaker. Fluency can be in your level. So if you are a false beginner, be a fluent beginner. If you are an intermediate, be a fluent intermediate speaker. Yes, it's free. You can download it. The link is in the descriptions of this video. Because the truth is, fluency is being able to have conversations, to feel comfortable talking about conversations. So, in this ebook, I give ideas of things that you can do to help you with speaking, to help master vocabulary, to help master reading. And I give you two other tips there, okay? So make sure to download. The link is in the descriptions. As soon as as soon as the video is over, I will share the link again here in the chat. But for now, if you want to know more tips, make sure to download the ebook because there are many things there. And not only that, when you download the ebook, you will be participating in my email list. And in my email list, I'm always sending emails with English lessons, podcasts, videos, and other subjects in English to help you communicate more efficiently. Okay? So it's a win win for you and for me. Okay? Awesome. Now it's time. My A to your Q. My answer to your question, Q&A time. It's time to ask questions, but about speaking, about the lesson that I gave you guys here, that I just gave you guys. So, what's your question? And I'll give you my answer. I will check the chat to see if there were some questions. But send me questions, okay, about speaking. Someone said, I use the Smule to sing English songs. I'm assuming this is an app or a website. It's perfect. Singing is a great way to practice pronunciation, to practice intonation, and to help you feel more comfortable speaking words in English. So, singing songs is a great way to practice pronunciation and intonation. But remember, if you are trying to sing a song, take a look at the lyrics, okay? Check the words, not translation, okay? Check the words, the meaning of the words, the expressions, see what is different in that song. And then start singing, have fun, record yourself, and then listen to the Beyonce inside of you or to the Adam Levine inside of you. Okay, singing is good. Nice. Can I be fluent in English living in Brazil? Dude, I live in Brazil. All right, so let me answer that question. Can I be fluent in English living in my country? I think that's your question. You are in Brazil. Yes, okay. I'm going to share my experience. When I was about 12 years old, I started studying. No, 12, no. Well, I did study when I was 12, but then I started another course when I was 15. So when I was 15, I started to study. And in about a year and 2 months, in about a year, I was already working as a teacher and I could communicate in English. So the thing is, you can be an excellent communicator, but fluency is a work in progress. You will always have something to work on. It never stops. And traveling abroad doesn't mean you're going to be fluent. I have had many clients who started to study with me and they told me they had lived abroad for a year, for 2 years, but they were not fluent. Because fluency has nothing to do with the place. Fluency has everything to do with yourself, with your discipline, with your dedication, and the right exercises, the right routine. So, yes, you can be fluent anywhere you live, whether it's in Brazil or in Spain or in France. It all depends on your dedication, your effort, and the right exercises to stimulate speaking. Okay? Awesome. Let's see what else. I saw that some people gave me some examples about healthy lifestyle. So Pedro is saying we have to find a subject that we have affinity, that we feel comfortable, and focus on the subject to gain more knowledge. Yes and no. I understand that. I understand your question. You can search subjects that you enjoy, but you can also search subjects that you don't know much about. For example, I don't like kangaroos. I have no interest in kangaroos, but this would be an interesting subject for me to learn more about, because if I were here right now to have a conversation with an Australian and he mentioned something about kangaroos, I wouldn't know anything. I wouldn't be able to talk about that subject. So this is what I want you to focus on. Think about a subject that you would like to feel more comfortable talking about. So if you want to feel more comfortable talking about technology, search some subjects connected with technology. Start looking at vocabulary, expressions that would help you in a conversation about technology or about the latest cell phone or the latest computer, and then prepare yourself. It can be with things you enjoy or things that you don't know much about, okay? Now, don't search about things you don't like, because if you just search things that you don't like, you will not enjoy it so much. Okay, remember, English is about enjoying the moment, and if you search things that you don't like, it'll be strange. Okay. Okay, so Janaína is saying, Teacher Prix, do I send a voice message to my friends and ask them for feedback, but before I record myself? Okay, so if you have a friend that can give you some feedback, do your exercise, okay? Record your voice, do the speaking exercise, answer the question you want, and talk for 1, 2 minutes. After you're done, send a message to a friend and ask, hey, I'm practicing my speaking and I recorded some audios. Would you like to listen? And could you listen and give me some feedback? If the person says yes, great, send the audio. If the person says no, try another person, try another friend. Okay? But check first, send the message later. All right? Could you talk about your degree and formation in English? That's not about the subject. English is speaking. But in my ebook, I talk a little bit about where I studied, some courses I took. Okay. How long it took you to be that fluent? As I said, it's a work in progress. I don't think about how long it took me because if I think about it, I am better than last year. If I watch my videos on YouTube, I am better than last year. If I watch my videos from 2 years ago, I am much better than 2 years ago. So fluency is a work in progress. As I said, in 1 year, I was speaking English. But do I prefer my English now or 15 years ago when I was 16 years old? Definitely, I prefer my English now, but I could communicate when I was 16 years old. No problems. I could talk, I could ask questions, I could listen well, but I had more work to do. So don't focus so much on how long to be fluent because that road never ends. If you focus on being an independent communicator, someone who feels comfortable speaking, having conversations, who has problems about vocabulary, no problems. I do. But you know how to identify the vocabulary you need to learn and then you work on that. Okay? Let me go back here to see if there are more questions. Send me questions, guys. I want to know your questions. I saw a question here, but I missed it. Mhm. Any more questions, guys? How long have you studied? Well, in the beginning, when I didn't know anything, I studied for 1 year and 2 months. I finished a course in 1 year and 2 months. Okay. That's not about the lesson. Lesson, guys, about speaking. Any question about speaking, I will answer. I'll give 10 more minutes. If you guys don't ask me questions, I will have to go. Oh, so ask me questions. I'll drink some water. Okay, so memorizing, I did give some tips about memorization in my previous live lesson. Okay, so watch that lesson because I give some memorization techniques. But if you're doing the memorization techniques and you don't remember the words, we also have to you also have to, what was I going to say? Oh, yes, to handle your emotions. Okay, probably you have some emotional problems if you're not remembering the words. So these things, they are connected. Okay, someone is saying, how do I lose my accent? Yes, how do you lose your accent? First, let's say you do this alone. You practice English speaking alone. You have nobody to correct you, so you have to practice this, okay? Because if you never speak, how do you improve your intonation? How do you lose your accent? And remember, depending on where you live, depending on where you are, you may have a strong accent. So you need to do some reduction exercises to help you in the speaking. Okay, now in the speaking, another thing that is very important, and many students they confuse that. You don't need to speak fast. Okay, and many English learners believe they need to speak fast and like Americans do, and no, you don't need to do that. Don't speak fast, speak clearly. Okay, so first, if you want to improve your accent, work on the words individually. Okay, word by word. After they are clear, start learning about how you connect the words, because in a spoken language you can connect the words. That's why when you're listening to native speakers, it seems that they are speaking very fast because they are linking the words. But first, master the words individually and then master the words by connecting them, okay? And it's repetition. It's a work in progress, okay? Uh, Someone says, what is the best method for improving my English, my speaking skills? Well, basically, if you watch this live class, this live master class, I give some strategies and they are totally connected with input learning and output learning. If you just read, watch, listen, listen, you're never improving your speaking. You have to do something about what you listen, about what you write, about what you see. This is the moment to practice speaking. Now, if you don't have anybody to do that with you, it's okay. There are two things you can do. You can write, practicing what you would say in those situations, in conversations, and you can record yourself, record your voice, use an app, download an app, and record yourself talking, because this is an efficient way for people who don't have anybody to practice with. Okay? Let's see. Have you ever been mocked by strangers about your English at the beginning and how you dealt with that situation? No, it's interesting. It's an interesting question. Guys, usually this fear is your fear, okay? I don't know anybody who has been in that experience, okay? And even in the United States, when I was learning a lot of things, okay, a lot of information about English, improving my English. I was already a speaker. Okay, I'm gonna give the link to the ebook. Don't go away, come back. Okay, but this is the link to the ebook I just sent to you guys. Now, one thing that happened to me in the United States, when I made a mistake, people corrected me, but I've never been mocked. But I've always been afraid of being mocked. Okay, so this is internal. It's usually our personal fear of being mocked, of being made fun of, but that doesn't usually happen, okay? There can be some light comments like, oh, we don't usually say that. No, I don't understand what you mean. But don't take this personally, okay? Make sure that this is an opportunity. See this correction moment as an opportunity to learn. But no, I've never been mocked or anything like that. And I made a lot of mistakes, okay? I still do. I just relax about it. I don't care anymore. And you should do that. Just ignore negative comments or fun, people making fun, because that's not constructive. That's not going to help you get anywhere. Let's see. Yes, it's the key to English fluency. If you downloaded it a long time ago, it was probably not updated. I sent the latest version uh, to the people who are in my email list. But this is a 62 page. Let me know, Parito, because my this new version is 62 pages. And I remember that a long time ago I sent a very short version, but I made it more complete and more robust. It has 62 pages of a lot of information for you guys to improve. Any more questions? 5 more minutes and I am leaving. Any speaking questions? Gonna drink more water because I'm thirsty. It's very hot here in Brazil right now. Okay, someone says, I have a problem with my English, my speaking skills, because I feel like I will sound like a fool. Now, do you practice English speaking alone? And when you're practicing English alone, do you feel uncomfortable? And what are the moments when you feel uncomfortable? Because you need to understand why you feel afraid. Okay, because it's important to deal with your emotions. Many times we are afraid of rejection, but we reject ourselves. We reject our own ability. So, this is the moment to analyze if you have a real fear of being rejected or if your English needs more work, okay? And if your English needs more work, maybe start feeling more comfortable with speaking. That's why recording is so important. That's why I record myself all the time, so that I can feel comfortable with my speaking. And then when I talk to people, I feel better. I sometimes feel normal. But after practicing for a long time English speaking alone, I started to feel more comfortable talking to people. Because when I was an English learner, there were many moments that I didn't have anybody to talk to me before traveling abroad. So I didn't record myself because I didn't have a recorder, but I talked a lot at home, practicing, feeling comfortable with my speaking abilities, even though I made mistakes. Okay, so it starts to feel more comfortable with your voice, with your pronunciation, because then you will feel more comfortable when you talk to people. Okay? Wendell, have you ever been in a situation where you had to spend all day speaking English and you got a headache? Yes. I speak English all day, so sometimes I feel a headache because it is tiring. Felipe, do you recommend learning another language at the same time and learn English? It has no interference, but it depends on what you want to do. Are you studying languages just for fun? Go ahead, learn one, two, three, no problems. But if you are trying to master English and become a better communicator, it's going to be very time consuming. So maybe dividing your attention between English and another language will be very challenging. So you will end up not doing one and not doing the other. So my recommendation is, do you have time to do all of that? If so, go ahead, keep it up. If you want to, if you are in a moment in your English journey where you need to dedicate more time, focus on English and then on other languages. Maradona or Pelé? Definitely Pelé. Come on, easy question, huh? Last question, and then I'll go. Start spreading the news. Last question for today. I wanna watch TV and eat popcorn or ice cream. Come on, guys. No more? Oh, I'm devastated. It's all right. Okay, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Okay. I will leave the link again to the ebook. Okay. When you download the ebook, you have to inform your email to register. You will participate in an email list. It's free. Every week I send information about English, English tips. Okay? Is there someone else that speaks English in your family? Yes, I taught my sister to speak English. She speaks English to me, but that's pretty much that. Nobody else speaks English. My father is learning a few words because he watches all my videos, and so he's learning a few words. And my niece. What app do you recommend? What kind of app? Do you mean speaking apps? I do have a. I think in my ebook I talk about apps. Okay. Let's see. Amparito, you don't know who's Pelé? The best soccer player, the king of soccer? Very nice. So, someone asked an important question. What movies and books do you recommend to improve English? It depends. For English speaking, I recommend the series Friends because they have a lot of casual conversations. So, consequently, they use simple structures: present, past, future. They use simple structure. They use a lot of expressions, everyday expressions that you use in communication. They talk about all kinds of conversations, so it's a very nice TV show to help you with speaking, okay? And vocabulary, listening, pronunciation, intonation, okay? Now, a book, it depends on what you're going to do. If it's just to improve speaking, I don't have a clear recommendation right now because, as I said, it's a combination of exercises. So, in a book, I usually target different kinds of subjects that will help you with the speaking. But usually, American English File is a great book to help you with grammar, vocabulary, listening, reading, and conversation ideas. So it's a very good book. Okay? Now, okay, when I listen to conversations in English, I can recognize every word, but I can't understand what they are saying. How can I solve this? Well, Juan, it's a confusing question because if you understand the words but you don't understand what they are saying, it's a little incongruent. Because if you know the words but you don't know them together, probably it's because you don't know the meaning of the words. So, my recommendation is go back to vocabulary, improve your vocabulary and structure. Because if you don't know what these words mean when they are put together, it's probably because of your structure. So you understand a word here, a word there, but then when you are in a conversation, in a complete conversation, you don't know what they mean. So understand more about structure, more about grammar, and study those words and create examples with those words so that you can understand them more easily in conversations. Usually, when this is happening, it's probably because you are in more advanced conversations that you're not prepared for. So, if you are in a conversation that is too difficult for your level, you will recognize words, but it'll be so difficult that you won't be able to keep up with the conversation. Okay? Yes, I am from Brazil. Uh, very well, guys. Almost 1 hour and a half. I hope you enjoyed this video, this masterclass. Please, if you enjoyed, support the channel by sharing this lesson with your friends on Facebook. This would really help me here on the channel. So if you could support me and share at the end of this masterclass, it would be great. Make sure to participate in the email list. I will send the link one more time. You will receive the ebook with many English tips and you will receive emails every week with more tips. Excellent, guys. So have a wonderful night. I will talk to you guys very soon. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.